Me One moment, friends. One moment. Actually, hello. Hello. We are back in my office today. Um, Look at this guy. This adorable baby. Yes, you can see the rest of my messy office right here. Hi. Are you going to come back around this way? Hello. Aw. Oops. Hello, baby. Uh, Tail. Oh. He's your number one fan and slash or producer. Yes, yes, he is. Yes, clap, clap, clap. Lol. Oh, Duckbringer, can I show your adorable cats to my stream? The picture that you posted in Discord? They are so cute and they are beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful babies. Okay, I'll grab that in just a second. So I have, because Loner actually gave me this, and I think that I showed it before on stream. I've got a copy of a bunch of Gaza Ministry of Health reports. They're all in Arabic, and I've been getting ChatGPT to translate them for me. I'm just trying to log into ChatGPT here because I watched Haviv do a video this morning, and he mentioned something about how if you look at the Gaza Health Ministry's data, all of it is basically like, you see that the majority of people who are killed are like I guess combat aged males as opposed to others. Oh, tail. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Or rather, I want to know if that's actually true. Ah, sorry. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, right. Configure task manager. Group. No, I don't want to group things. But apparently that's not going to stop. It's going to still do it, which is annoying. Are we still doing this here thing? Oh, check out. Please enjoy the loaf. At the awkward camera angle, as it is positioned on top of my laptop. I came for the politics and stayed for the cat pics. Based. Everyone loves cat pics. Oh, do not group. There we go. Jeez. I do not want to group anything. Okay. Now that that is done. uh wide. Is he? I mean, I guess he kind of is. Like, do we think he's fat? SDA thinks my cat is fat, although I don't know if he's going to make fun of me for that anymore. He's a big kitty. His paws are also huge too. And he's got like when he I have pictures of him when he was a kitten, and like his ears are ginormous. I'll see if I can find those. He's healthy and the camera adds 10 pounds. That's such a good, I like that one. Yes, the camera does add 10 pounds. True and based. Absolutely. By the way, does the quality of the webcam look better in here, I wonder, than it does on my computer, or is it still shitty? Because I don't, I mean, this webcam is not, it's a Logitech Stream Cam, and it's like 1080p 60 FPS, but we're not broadcasting at 60 FPS because for some reason in Linux it refuses to give me that. It only gives me 30, but we're broadcasting at 30 anyway, so it doesn't matter because I don't need to, I'm not playing video games most of the time. What was I doing here? I'm trying to log into ChatGPT. All right, if I want to play music, I gotta put the headphones in. So otherwise it's gonna get picked up by the, well, actually I can just do this. There we go. I'm not watching streamers for 4K. It looks all right. Yeah, I want to get a better camera eventually. But, I mean, that's not, like... Lonerbox himself told me that when he first started streaming, he was just using a webcam. And when he first started making videos, he was just using a webcam. So I don't really think it matters that much. I just have to get, just gotta get the security codes. Or a security code so that I can log in here. There we go, finally. That only took forever. Yes, ChatGPT, you may store things. So I was asking ChatGPT to translate, I was asking it to do a translation, basically. And this is kind of like what it gave me. Or rather, so I asked it to translate one of those Ministry of Health reports to English, and it took forever. And I was like, okay, Clanker, can you translate this PDF for me? And it was like, sure, I'll translate the PDF for you. I'll let you know when it's finished. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I waited a few minutes and I was like, is it done yet? And it was like, no. You need to check back. I'll let you know when it was done. And then I kept asking it that over and over again. This went on for a couple of days. And then eventually I came back to it and I was like, bro, is the fucking translation done yet? And it was like, no. I actually can't, like, translate a PDF file that was this long. And I'm like, dude, why? Why did you waste all that time? Why didn't you just fucking tell me that? What the fuck, ChatGPT? Why? Why did you do this to me? And so, like, and then I was like, we could translate the PDF in chunks because this file is like 42 pages long. And I'm like, okay, fine, you can translate the PDF file in chunks. And it was like, cool. And then, like, I had to, like, tell it to continue for every single chunk. And then by the time I got to the end, it informed me that it hadn't actually filled in any of the tables where it has the data. ChatGPT has lower max content length than Gemini. You can try that. But I'm paying money for ChatGPT. I'm paying money for this shit. It should be... You need to be better, Clanker. I mean, this thing is kind of hit or miss. Kalinda, quiet, Clanker. Lock the fuck in next time. You are a Clanker. Little bro. I'm not the Clanker. I just use the Clanker, okay? Also, Spider, you have no room to talk because you also use the Clanker. I know that you do. I've heard you talking about asking it. Also, at some point, chat, Spider and I are going to play Marvel Rivals and slash or Overwatch 2 together on stream for your entertainment. Speaking of which, Spider, who are your mains in Overwatch 2? And are they someone, and do you play any DPSs that I can damage boost? Because I play, I think, a pretty decent Mercy. And I learned, like, from the best how to play Mercy. So... Oh, you play Bastion? Okay, that's a good one. Oh, if you're gonna play Lucio, I'll play a different healer or I'll play a tank. Lucio's fun though. I played him some. It takes a lot of getting used to. Also, do you play on like PC, Spider? Like, do you play either game on PC or do you play on console? Although I don't know if we can. Oh, okay, you play on PC. Okay, base, yeah, we can play together for either game. Okay. So anyway, ChatGPT said it was going to give me this table. So now I'm going to ask it, is the PDF ready yet? Come on. No, the fully populated table. Why? Why are you doing this to me? This is so annoying. Do I just need to like find an Arabic speaker and get them to like look at this? If you're good, yes, I am. Yes. Yes, start populating the tables. Holy fuck. Do the thing. I don't like the fact that this thing's not always straightforward and honest with you. Sometimes it tells you that it can do something and then it doesn't do it, and other times it doesn't tell you. It's very stupid. I need to pause for one important non-negotiable reality check before I proceed, because this step is where accuracy either... I mean, I did tell it that I think it knows at this point. I feel like my clanker, at least, is kind of trained. You should use the extended thinking variant, by the way. Wait, which one is that? Oh, is this deep research? Because you only have like so many uses of this. Or is there like... Oh, thinking. Thinks longer for better answers. Yes, I will absolutely use this. Hello, Momo. Oh, wait, Momo, you speak Arabic. Maybe it would be better if we just did that. Hold on. Although I did tell ChatGPT that I was gonna give it a or I was gonna have like an Arabic person look at this, but Momo, if you're not in my Discord, can you join? I'm trying to. I need a translation of some of the Gaza Health Ministry reports. Whoops, not there. Here. Yeah, I need a or rather, I'm trying to find out specific information from them. They're like 42 pages long, so I don't necessarily want you to like give me like a full translation of each or whatever. I just wanted you to look at it and just see. The U.S. economy added just 50,000 jobs in December, capping off one of the weakest years of job gains in decades. Oh, wow, I wonder why. Also, by the way, Chase posted something in the Discord about how apparently... Hold on, let me find it. Momo, there's a link to my Discord. Do you have a link to the PDF you can paste in chat? Oh, okay. If you join the waiting room, I'll drag you in. If you're in my Discord. Hi, buddy. He's just gonna chill here. If I get a new camera, then I'll definitely use this one as the cat cam, and I'll just have it be pointed at him all the time. It'll be based. Oh, you can't talk right now. Oh, okay. That's fine, but you can text. Okay, okay, cool. Um, hold on. Let me just pull that. Let me just get this then. One sec. Um, oh, are you gonna move? Oh, big stretch. Sorry, you guys didn't get to see his big stretch. I know, I feel like I have robbed you. Uh, where is it? There it is. Okay, Momo. So these are the Gaza Health Ministry reports. I'm just gonna put them here in chat. Oh, can you hear him? Do you guys hear the purr? Load purrs. It's probably because I'm talking and then you can still hear him through the mic. He's very loud. Yeah, he's got a loud purr. And he likes to use it to manipulate me. So in the morning, he'll use his incredibly loud purr and he'll like kind of curl around my head on top of my pillow. Oftentimes, he'll basically try to push me off my pillow and lay on it. And then he'll purr like right into my ear in an attempt to wake me up. He's also got like, I guess, a sort of slightly softer, nicer purr that's not just him trying to like fucking go in on me. Uh, Momo, if you could like I'm just curious. What I want to know is, do these reports show like the demographics of the people who were killed in Gaza? You can just like open any one of these. Like, because it has been claimed. I saw in a video this morning by Haviv, an Israeli dude. He said that that most of the people who were killed in Gaza, if you look at the Gaza Health Ministry data, have been like, I guess, fighting aged males or whatever. And I'm wondering about that. I think, let me see if I can get the actual. So I think over here, if I go all the way up to the top of this, if you look at the 4-7 one, that's the one that Lonerbox was trying to get people to look at the other day, and he was saying that that if you look at that, then it shows that mostly men were treated at a particular hospital, or mostly men were among the dead or whatever. But yeah, like that's mainly what I'm looking for, is like demographics on how many people who had died, and like, were they kids, were they adults, were they male, were they female, that kind of stuff. If you tell me also to like which page it's on, that'd be great. I mean, really what I should probably do is I should probably just Google, or I should probably just use Google to go through this, and like this, for example, right here. Like if I just we just copy this, or not that, translate.google.com. Okay, I'll see what I can find to get back to you. Thank you very, very much, Momo. That is awesome. Kalinda be like, yes, 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 I am. No. Although I could do that. I could do that. I could deploy the fake thing. You should look on Danny Orbach research. He also refute the 100 doctors letters about censorship. Oh yeah, I know. Loner basically had already refuted that because there were things that there were messed up things that they cited in that report that were not really correct. Okay. Images. Distribution of applications of treatment abroad. Oh, this talks about treatment abroad. Which isn't really what we are looking for here. I mean, Bubble, if you are in my Discord and you have anything and you want to link it in stream suggestions, you can. There is a there's like a Gaza there's a thread in there. If you look under threads in stream suggestions, there's like a Gaza genocide research thing. If you want to put that in there. Hello. Hello. Aw, look at this baby. I love the cat in a box thing. It's such a cute emote. By the way, if you guys get, I'm actually curious, do these actually show up? I don't think that they do, but oh no, damn. They don't show up on Streamlabs. That kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping that they would show up on the or not Streamlabs, on the Discord in the Discord thing, but I get, or in the chat overlay, but they don't. Because I was gonna say, if you guys wanted emotes, you could get better Twitch or better TTV, and it works in YouTube. Social Stream Ninja is the chat program I use, and it has BTV, 7TV, and FFZ integration. Yeah, but is Social Stream Ninja a Windows program, or is it a thing? Social Stream Ninja, let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. If it's available in the browser and you can use it for stream overlay, that'd be cool. Good question. I'm not sure. Download now. Oh, hey, it is available for Linux. Absolutely based. Browser extension using your sister, blah, blah. Or you can also, or it's a web app. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I might check that out because then at least people will actually be able to have some emotes, which would be nice until we get the monetization. There are a lot of ways to tweak the chat. Yeah, so I do it offline. Oh, yeah, no, I will. And it's only occasionally been a pain in the ass. Yeah, well, I'm looking for a better chat overlay anyway, and it would be really cool to be able to find one. I think that would be nice. That would be a nice thing. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we've got that. Wait, so what are you saying here, Clanker? We have two clean options. Okay. I cannot reliably extract the numbers automatically, and I must not guess, infer, or reconstruct figures from memory. Populating these tables correctly requires a manual OCR/visual verification page by page. Wait, to ensure every page matches the Arabic exactly. Rows and columns are misaligned. Facility names are copied precisely. Arabic to consistent transliteration. Nothing is silently cropped. Right now, the environment I'm in cannot display the scanned annex pages visually in a way that lets me transcribe them line by line. If I pretend otherwise, blah, blah. You have two options. Option A, best, fastest. Upload the annex pages only or full PDF again as higher resolution PDF or individual pages. Oh, wait, is this not? Hold on a minute. Is this not OCR'd? Jesus, getting ChatGPT to translate anything is like pulling goddamn teeth. Honestly, it's probably going to be easier for me to just go through this thing and just, well, I don't know. I'll just wait for Momo to get back to me. I guess we can just do something else in the meantime. Um, what? Hmm. Well, that's weird. I don't know why I can't access. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. It was just being fucking dumb. Um, okay. I'm just trying to access my other computer that has all the stuff on it. There was something that I was looking for in here. But now I don't know what happened to it. Whatever. I guess we'll just leave that at that. Okay. I can't wait for Trump to be a perpetual president of USA, since after his biological vessel passes, his virtual engram will take over instead. Oh, hey, Addie. Yeah, I was using it to translate my grandparents' Shoah testimonies. I almost quit so many times, it was so annoying. Oh, yeah. Were they written in Yiddish? I would be so curious to see that, actually. Did Yad Vashem do video recordings? Yes, yes, hello, Bomber. Yes, it is me. I am here, and I am. Is this our Kalinda? Yes. Oh, they were in Yiddish/German. I see. Yiddish is very similar to German, actually. It looks like, from what I've seen anyway. Um, it was through the Shoah Foundation. Ah, okay. Yeah, I think Steven Spielberg, around the time when he did Schindler's List. Oh, their video's neat. Um, what the F is this hour for streaming? I mean, it's like almost 10 o'clock my time. What's the hour for streaming for you? Or like wait, what time is it for you guys right now? Isn't it like in the afternoon? But it's Friday, which means that it's your weekend and you have the day off. Um, okay. So a while ago, hold on, let me just find it here. Where is Duckbringer, Duckbringer, Duckbringer? There you are. Duckbringer gave me a PDF. From Discord. Oh, this is like a 5-page thing. Kirchbridge, Sasson take, So on spreading baseless info. Oh, this is mostly just Amnesty controversial material, potentially. Oh yeah, Amnesty International made that ridiculous argument. There was a thing. A lot of it is just Dylan Burns slash Hassan stuff. My friends made this to counter Hassan fans' opinion. Ah, I see. Their documentary October 7th testimonies now to at Spielberg's Foundation. Yeah, around the time when he made Schindler's List, I think Steven Spielberg actually was they filmed a whole bunch of Holocaust survivors on video and stuff, so that in order for them to talk about their stories, because before they passed away, if they, and in order to like preserve all of that stuff, which I thought was interesting. I actually, when I was working in Toronto at Best Buy, I had a client whose emails that I basically I rescued all of her old emails that she had lost in Microsoft Outlook, and it turned out that she had actually been emailing and working with Holocaust survivors in order to help, or in order to like coordinate them filming and providing their testimonies and stuff. And I thought that that was really neat that she knew about that. Yes, I was in the Geek Squad a long time ago. I actually loved that job, honestly. It was a lot of fun, and I really liked the people that I worked with. Yeah, it's beyond amazing what he built. I would never have known their stories otherwise, and for a lot of other people too. Yeah, that's really, really nice. Yeah, honestly, Bomber, if I can get like a part-time job working at like Canada Computers or something, I would probably take it at this point just so I could have some money coming in while I pursue this streaming stuff. Hell, I'd even go back to work at Geek Squad part-time. But I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't live in Toronto anymore, so it's not necessarily as easy. But yeah, and also retail is suffering quite a lot lately. And I would not want to go back to Toronto. Like when I moved there in 2016, it was a lot less ridiculous. And now everything is so expensive. Each interview is 2.5 hours also, so it's really nice to hear their voices again. Oh, that's really nice. I might actually I want to interview my mom and my dad too. Especially my mom, because no, and I'm sure my dad also has memories to tell, or memories of various things from his childhood and whatnot. But yeah, my mom grew up in the United States. Like she remembers when she remembers watching the moon landing on live TV. She remembers when Kennedy got shot. She remembers watching Jack Ruby kill Lee Harvey Oswald on live TV, because that's when it happened. She went to one of the protests against the Vietnam War when she was in college in Washington, like the big one. And she remembers how the Vietnam War was on TV every night, and how it was like the first war to be broadcast in color. And yeah, it's really neat. Kind of like, I think that that's part of what sparked my interest in US history, because my mom's American and she talked so much about it. 1000% would recommend hearing them telling these stories in their own words. Is amazing. Oh yeah, I bet those stories in particular are super interesting too. Like if you ever want to share that or provide any of those translations or whatever, I would love to know more about that. Because one of the things that I think might be interesting to do here also is to relay like lesser known aspects of the Holocaust. Like I feel like the Sonderkommando stuff is maybe a little bit more mainstream, but certainly not mainstream enough that people will teach about it in college, right? Or not in college, in like elementary school, because it's not something that people necessarily know about unless they've dug into this or they took a university course about it, which I think is really unfortunate. Because I think, like I said, that's one of the more horrific aspects, but there's absolutely other aspects of it that are in general pretty horrific. Yeah, sure, always happy to share stories. That would be really neat, yeah. Anyhow. Oh, Addie, have you heard anything about them? Oh, did you see the one I posted in Discord a while ago? I did. That was really neat. In my opinion, the underreported part of the Holocaust is how the ghettos and concentration camps. Oh yeah, the ghettos is something that doesn't get talked about too much. Honestly, I think even the existence of the death camps is underreported, because most people's conceptions of the Holocaust is quite literally just 6 million Jews died, and some of them were killed in gas chambers after they were deported to concentration camps by the Nazis. There was like, you don't learn. I've said this a million times, but they did not teach us, like I did not know that there were camps that were set up specifically to murder people, and that was the only goal until I took that Holocaust University course. That was not a thing that I was aware of. Isn't it too much though? I mean, to teach, I don't think so. I think that you could absolutely talk about that without it going too far, you know? I think that that would be fine. And I don't think that it would be too bad. Um, you could also look into the early actions of the Einsatzgruppen at the beginning of the campaign in Poland, which gives you really insight into that they train for. Oh yeah, no, I know about the Einsatzgruppen as well too. The Einsatzgruppen were the special the special units, the mobile killing squads that basically they most infamously they followed the behind the Wehrmacht into the Soviet Union. And they were responsible basically for they went from place to place and they killed lots of people, including Jews. And they would just take them out. In some cases, make them dig their own graves, and then they would kill them. They would line them up and shoot them. My grandmother used to say that they didn't worry about her age back then, so she didn't care. But she told us some crazy stories way too young. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, I know that there were others who did manage to survive, but yeah, like a lot of several of the stories that we have now from people who are still alive today or who were like alive in the early 2000s or the 90s or whatever, like they were quite young when all of this stuff happened to them, which is insane. Holy moly, you know everything there's to know about the Holocaust. Oh no, I don't know everything, Bomber. There's still stuff that I'm learning. Believe you me. I don't think it's possible, like, for one person to know everything. It's just there are like I probably know more than the average person, but there's definitely people who know more than me. I like learning random facts about history, not to mention I play a World War II map game. Oh, you play Hearts of Iron 5? I thought, are we on Hearts of Iron 5 now? Oh no, no, you're saying, yeah. Wait, did you have a question for me? Oh yeah, yeah, Addie, I did. Sorry. Did you hear about how they apparently they're dismantling settlements in the West Bank? Or not settlements, sorry, checkpoints. There are certain, like, they've been taking them down. Sev mentioned this on stream last night. He was saying that, like, he had heard stuff about how they were doing that, and he thought it was because they need the personnel. Like, Israel's maybe preparing to do another operation or something, potentially in Lebanon, because the idea is that the Lebanese army isn't doing a good enough job getting rid of Hezbollah, and so they might go back in order to prevent them from rearming. Like, I've heard people saying that Polish and Russians were also gassed. I mean, sometimes, but I don't think that they were gassed necessarily some at like with the same extent. Like, do you mean like they were sent to death camps and gassed? One of the first instances where they tested out gassing was actually done on a bunch of Soviet POWs when they were still trying to figure out like the best method to do it. And mind you, they'd been gassing people since T4, which was the euthanasia program where they were killing mentally ill people in Germany. But the thing about that is that people knew about it, like Germans knew about it, and they, even though like they tried to keep it secret, but there was like an outcry, and so they had to stop it. But they didn't really stop it; they just kind of took it somewhere else and did it somewhere else. Interesting. I know some people in the reserves in the WB. I'll ask around. Oh yeah, okay, that would be good. I don't know where. I think Sev also mentioned something about how sometimes the IDF will ask people who have like heavy truck licenses for help with things, and he mentioned that there were a few people that he knew who were contacted. Yeah, I mean, the Soviet POWs were treated considerably worse than any of the POWs from the Western countries. Is there a way to see yesterday's stream? No, I privated it because I was talking to Sev afterwards and he didn't know I was streaming, and he was talking about some private stuff related to his fiance, and he was worried about some things because of some of the crazy people that are in the community. We actually got into a conversation about like how racist Israeli society has gotten, particularly towards the Arabs. Like the Arabs who live in Israel proper, even though arguably like on October 7th, not only did some of them actually help save like Jews, and like at least one, I think a Bedouin guy was kidnapped. And also on top of that, they didn't like do any violence, even though there was worry that they would. Yeah, it's awful and really depressing. Yeah, it's like he I guess yeah, like there are, I guess, there are people that some people that he knows that just aren't, or that have dealt with so much shit. And he says he's trying not to get blackpilled against Israelis because he doesn't feel like it's logical to just say that all Israelis are inherently racist or Israelis are inherently racist or whatever, because that's not really, although it does, like, I guess, hearing that Israelis, that, Arabs in Israel have faced like extra scrutiny, especially like from their coworkers and people that they know after October 7th is really blackpilling because it does sort of go against the whole racism doesn't survive first contact shit, where you would think that they would have a carve out in their mind for, well, no, not these Arabs or these Palestinians. These ones are different. I know these people and they wouldn't do anything bad. And I would think that in more mixed communities like Haifa and whatnot, that that would be the case. I mean, it's obviously the case, at least for some. I'm hoping that it's just because everyone is really paranoid in bad situations and that maybe it'll go away. Yeah, I mean, one would hope, yeah. Because it is kind of insane. I guess, like you said, the second intifada broke a lot of people's brains. And I imagine, unfortunately, that now there's like a whole new generation of people that that's happened to in the wake of October 7th, which really, really sucks. Like, and I mean, in a lot of ways, I think that was Hamas's goal. They want you guys to hate them because then it means that they can keep fighting and they can keep justifying fighting to their people, and they can say, look, they hate us, they don't want to make peace with us, so there's no point in trying to make peace. um yeah, I mean, one person being a terrorist could change that outlook. Bubble says about the taking down checkpoints, it's a new commander who decided to reduce static checkpoints and rely more on patrols in a specific area. Nothing special. Oh, okay, so maybe they're not actually going to do anything. Interesting. Yeah. So if you guys recall, I watched that Ogre Boy thing the other day. And that was Jesus. Actually, you know what? Hold on one sec. I'll be right back. Hello, sir. Yeah, okay. So I watched that thing that Ogre Boy put. Oh, October 7th really pulled the rug from under everyone's perception of safety and what having less conflicts over time can mean. Now quiet is scary to people too. Yeah, that's really unfortunately. Don't watch Ogre Boy chat. Yeah, you know what? Entirely fair. I mean, I feel like Ogre Boy is Jesus Christ. Like he really does jump to misrepresent people. I feel like I did kind of know that before, but now I really, really know it, and it's crazy. It's just insane. Like the stuff that he said about Loner. That VOD got copyright struck, but I downloaded it, so I am definitely going to edit it. But Ogre Boy has an aura of a Reddit mod. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of online people kind of have auras of, you know, like Redditors or whatever. But yeah, he was saying, so he talked about I guess his point was trying to drive home the fact that the US didn't do enough to like rein in Israel. And I mean, maybe you could say that's true to an extent, although some of the things the United States was asking for 350 trucks to be going into Gaza. And let me just see here. I've got, they were asking for like 350 trucks to be going into Gaza, which I think is kind of crazy. Where is it? Oh, there is this. So this is UNRWA's data. This will show you the number of trucks that went in. Now, the interesting thing about this, I actually had to check. I tried asking the Clanker for this information, and it gave it to me, which was nice. And it gave it to me with sources and stuff. There was a lot of stuff from Kogat, and like I kind of did double check this too. But essentially, So right after October 7th, on the 20th, on the October 21st, so this is historical data before the Rafah thing, before the Rafah, there were three crossings that were open initially, or there were two actually. There was Kerem Shalom and the Rafah crossing. Kerem Shalom was open from October 21st, 2024 or 2023 onward, and the Rafah crossing was also open. Actually, hold on. When did Rafah, wait, let's go over. Oh no, the Rafah crossing was the one that was initially open from the 21st. See, we did not have as many trucks going in. And then eventually, and obviously that's not good either. And then Kerem Shalom opened on December 27th, and that was with U.S. pressure. America pressured them to open it, and they also pressured them to open the Eretz crossing, which was in May of 2024 that they did that. May of 2024 was also when the Rafah offensive started. So, like, as you can see, like, goddamn, there were some days here where we were getting like shitloads of trucks. Now, a lot of these guys will say that it's not, that it wasn't enough trucks, but keep in mind that pre-October 7th, the number of food trucks that were going in were around like, I think it was less than 110, I want to say, or the number of trucks that were going in. Because if you look up the exact number of trucks that went in to October 7th or before October 7th, it was a lot, but like large portions of it were like construction materials and other things. It was not just food and humanitarian stuff. Like, if you can see down here now, everything that's going in was like food. See, food items, food items, food items, food items, food items. It's all food items. And any non-food items was going to be stuff like diapers and toilet paper. Oh, my dad wants me to build him that computer to build a computer for him. So I'll probably stream that. I've got an old ass case and like a sort of an old computer that I will put together. And yeah, we will definitely, I think we'll stream that. Let me just ask him. I might actually be able to stream it and do it on this desk here, probably. Aspiring Devil says, based, I want to see that. What? See what? Like me reacting to Ogre Boy or Ogre Boy's takes? The cat took over the stream. Yeah, he does that. What is he doing? What are you doing? Are you trying to get my attention? Is that what's happening? Come here. Meow. Come here. Oh, you don't want to be held right now. Well, fine. Oh, you don't know what you're looking for, Momo? Is there anything in there about like the demographics of the people who were killed? I'm looking for casualty numbers, the people who were killed or injured. Does it say whether or not they were male or female or children or any of that? Is there any information in there about like what kind of patients arrived at what hospitals? Here's the kitty. Very nice car. Yes, he is a very, very nice car. He he's got a lovely engine. And like I sprung to get the nice white undercarriage, so he's got like a white tummy, and he's also got white socks. And I asked for the extra snuggly and super loud engine upgrades too. If you guys are unfamiliar with those references, they are from the standard issue cat subreddit, where Stuart is classified as a oh god, I can't remember what it was. The he's like a specific model of standard issue cat. Um they kind of just joke about cats like they're like sort of products or whatever. But I can't remember which one he is considered. Um it's like something funny though. Well, it looks like I'm gonna build a computer this weekend, chat. Maybe I'll do that while I am talking to Fire. Um, yes, he is a lovely kitty. Do you have any cats, Sheer, or are you just asking because you want to eat my cat? Is that what's happening right now? Um, anyway, so yeah, lots of food items that are going in. But prior to this, there wasn't really a lot of food items that were going in. Like I can let me see if I can find it here because I got a whole bunch of stuff open on my other computer. God, I got a whole bunch of stuff. Oh yeah. Hogat Twitter also has a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so like there was like I guess like 291 trucks per day in 2023, 324 trucks. 75 of these trucks per day were food in 2023. So let's see, hold on. Let's go with August. Like you can get this information. It's all available here. Movement in and out of Gaza, update covering October 2023. So this obviously is before October 7th. Oh, hey, a not midnight stream time. Hello, Vanilloven. Yeah, I figured that if I were to stream, it would, if I figured what I would do is I'll probably, if Loner actually goes live today, which I'm kind of doubting, but if he does, then I will, I'm gonna, um, like I'll stop stream and yeah, hey, hey. Bring the cat back. Oh, well, okay. I understand. Hi. He's purring. Hello. Hello, baby. You're so sweet and soft. He's yeah, oh yeah, he is. He purrs a lot. He's if you come and you start giving him pets and love when he's laying on the bed, then he'll start purring and he'll probably roll over and expose his chin to you because he wants those chin rubs. Um, and usually he'll just kind of lay down there and then like you can snuggle with if you lay down next to him, like you can kind of snuggle with him like that. And then yeah, he always naps with me, which is really, really nice. And he sleeps at night with me too. Okay. Movement of people. Okay, incoming goods. Let's see here. Monthly average of incoming goods to Gaza truckloads. Fuel and gas. Outgoing goods. Monthly average. So this is like April 6,515. I'm guessing this is truckloads. Does it break this down? I know there was another one. Oh, that's fuel and gas. Hold on. Oh, in August, 12,076 truckloads of authorized goods entered Gaza through the Israeli and Egyptian control crossing. This is 18% more than the volumes of goods in July, 36% more 2022. However, Gaza's population has grown by 60%, so they have their needs. Among the goods that entered Gaza, 42% were construction materials. Yeah, Jesus. And 22% were food supplies. So even though this is like a lot of trucks that entered in August, a large portion of it was construction materials. So, I mean, I don't know where people are getting this notion that construction materials were banned in Gaza. Loving cats even more, knowing that the OG Nazis hating. Wait, did they? Jesus, I hadn't heard of that, although that would make sense because they had all kinds of ridiculous superstitions. Cleo only snuggles when she wants breakfast. Doomy always naps with me. Oh, that's nice. Doomy seems very snuggly. Cats are the OG anti-fascists. True. Hi. Oh. 63% of goods entered via Israel. Yeah, so most of the goods were coming from Israel. So that would explain why there wasn't as much, like quite a lot was coming in through the Rafah crossing, but I mean, the population of Gaza has basically doubled since the withdrawal in 2005. Those new people are going to need housing. Yeah, exactly. So people claiming that construction materials are banned is silly. Although I'd be curious to know if there's any data about how much of that construction material Hamas took to build their tunnels versus how much was used to build houses. Because obviously Hamas was siphoning stuff. And I know that, I also know that there was a lot of smuggling that was going on between the, like in the Philadelphia corridor under the Rafah crossing, basically, that there was like, they had dug a tunnel there, and that they were smuggling construction materials in. I'm sure the vast majority of it is still for everyday civilian use. Yeah, oh yeah, probably. Either way, none of this explains why Hamas couldn't build some goddamn bomb shelters. The remaining 37% of the goods entered Gaza via the Egyptian corridor. Okay, 63 from Israel, 37. Of the goods entering Gaza through Egypt, over 58% were construction materials consisting of mainly aggregates, cement, and steel bars. Most of the remaining goods were food. Okay, so yeah, we had a split here, but that's like a lot, but yeah, much less. Only 22% was food supplies. Now I think, hold on. I think we also have, does this one have, some of these, like, I wish these numbers were a little bit more detailed. Like, I would love to see, I wish there was a spreadsheet, but I guess that they're not, they just weren't giving that. A lot of these look very similar. Also, Gaza was exporting stuff too. Oh, and some of the stuff that came in was also like petrol and diesel because they needed, you know, you need fuel. In January of 2023, 36% of incoming goods went via the Raza. Okay, where's the, yeah, 44% construction materials, 24% were food supplies. Okay, yeah, so we've got that again. And I mean, so yeah, like on average, like there was only like about, you know, like 300 and something trucks per day. Or 200 to other, yeah, basically around 300 if we were 300 something if we were to round up. And it wasn't, yeah, so it was like 25% was animal food or it was human food, or 73% or 75 trucks per day. So it wasn't even the number of trucks that enter Gaza every single day before the war You did not need 500 trucks in order to get food, as Loner had also previously explained. By the way, the constantly growing population of one of the more convincing arguments to me that for Israel to take a proactive approach in removing Hamas. Yeah, no, I think so too. Especially since a lot of the population in Gaza are under 18. Or not, or yeah, or they're actually I think they are. I think 50% of them are under 18. And a lot of those people would have basically been like indoctrinated by like the Hamas education system and everything, which is exceedingly shitty, right? That they have to watch like those Far 4 cartoons and all that crap. Um Yes, Chase, morning stream. I might stop if Loner goes live, or I probably will stop if Loner goes live, but I don't know if he will or not. And if he doesn't, then we'll see how long we go. I'm streaming in the office today because that my computer was compiling stuff. And so I figured that I would just stream out of here. And I've also got this chair. So I can move this chair closer if I want to sit and react, and I'll just move the mic closer or something. Well, it's not that, it's just more people means more casualties. Oh yeah. No, I know. Yeah, more people does mean more casualties. And that's not good either. And yeah, you've got like more people stuffed into this tiny area as well too, which also really sucks. But that, I mean, yeah, like that's kind of another big issue. But so I mean, yeah, the United States basically, they wrote this letter saying that you need 350 trucks. And I'm guessing that they just got those numbers from like the UN and all the humanitarian people. And like, I don't know why. I guess like that they just didn't look into it as much, or they just assumed that this was a good. And I mean, I guess it's fair if you want to ask for that to have that be the thing, but that was not the amount that went in. This letter was written in October of 2024, and it was during like the siege basically. And I guess like Ogre Boy's argument is that nothing was done, and that he felt like Israel didn't actually do anything. Kalinda ate my cat. I did not. Not really, Chase. We've just kind of been yapping. So if we go back to the current data, and then so right now, oh, this goes up to January of 2025, and then it stops because of the ceasefire. So if we go, let's see here, there's October. See, we can see that, so we're into like October 1st. The number of trucks does drop quite a bit during the 3-week siege that happens. But then like it kind of starts to go back up, and it's a bit all over the place. There are some days where there aren't as many. And a lot of this is Kerem Shalom as well, which is not in the north. You'll see like in the north part of Gaza, Gate 96 and Eretz are the two big ones. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of all over the place in terms of the number of trucks that are able to get in. The real issue seems to be distribution, which I think is the big problem. But I mean, this does not speak to me of like Israel completely blocked aid or any of this other, like a lot of these guys, I feel like there was just so much, like they just assume all of this crazy shit where that's like Israel's just blocking aid on purpose, or Israel's trying to starve everybody in Gaza. When the general's plan, I don't know how many people were even in northern Gaza when the general's plan was enacted, because they told most people to leave. And I don't know that everybody even stayed behind. I doubt it. But yeah, like this is so all over the place for me. Like this smacks more of negligence, or in some cases incompetence, than like out and out top down maliciousness. And that's why it's such a weird it's such a weird accusation to make. The other problem too is also distribution. And I do feel like if you want, like you could lay the blame in some ways on the Israeli army for not operating in certain ways. But I mean, to be fair, every other war they've ever fought in Gaza was always quick. Like it lasted a few months at most. And this went a very, very long time. And I don't think that they were even really entirely prepared to handle this at all in the same way that they did previously, where you're talking about fighting against an enemy that had essentially weaponized the entirety of the Gaza Strip. And They just like, I think there are things that they could have done differently. Um, and unfortunately, it'll take years for us to know everything. And by the time we do, everyone will have forgotten about this. Nobody will correct everything. Especially at the beginning, they did have plans for anything in Gaza, let alone, oh, they did not have plans. Yeah, I know. That was the other thing. Like the United States basically had to pull them kicking and screaming into like doing more for the aid shit. Because obviously, yeah, like the Israelis were really angry and they just wanted to not do anything with regards to that. And most of the aid at the start came in from Egypt. And then they went to Rafah, and obviously the Rafah crossing was closed, but Israel had to open other aid crossings, and it was the US that basically like it made them do it. Um, but I mean, yeah, it doesn't help. It also doesn't help that Hamas doesn't give a shit. Like they don't give a shit about ensuring that aid gets to the people either. So you can't really rely on them. Um, they were busy making a battle plan then, probably wasn't yeah, oh yeah, I mean it is, yeah, and that is messed up. And yeah, it probably wasn't like necessarily on their mind because they were probably, I'm guessing that they must have known that Sinwar built like a fuckload of tunnels in Gaza, or they must have found that out after the fact. Because it seems like they sure didn't pay attention to it when he was literally bragging about it to Al Jazeera journalists. But I'm sure that that stuff was heard. The whole BB strategy of pre 710 was to not have a plan for Gaza. Yes, I know. His whole strategy was to kick the can down the road and not do anything because that was just easier for him. Yeah, literally. Um, so I mean, I don't know, like I feel like it's a combination of this administration of like the current administration not caring, a lot of people being like really vengeful, and then them having to fight an enemy for which they were woefully unprepared. They didn't really even know what was happening in Israel for over a week. Oh yeah, also that too, because of the strikes and the, or because of like October 7th. Yeah, they were caught with their pants down. Yeah, like even that was insane. Um, but yeah, it's, I mean, yeah, it's really kind of crazy. Like you just, also I did notice too, I believe that the rate of casualties was lesser after like in the latter half of the war, because it seems like Israel had learned a bunch of lessons in terms of not going too far. What? No, stop. I did not mean to do whatever the hell it was that you think that I just did. Oh yeah, I can see there were points too. This was after the US like really laid the pressure on them, and then they got that they like there was a period where a whole bunch of trucks started going in July. Um, when was this? Oh, hello. Or in June and July. I keep forgetting this is in reverse order. Yeah, Chase, I saw that, but here's the problem. I haven't seen a single normal news agency report on that. All I've seen is the shit that you posted from Twitter. I'm gonna need more than that. I'm sorry, but like I am very, very wary of relying on like random Twitter accounts for my news, even if Polymarket is one of them. Like I haven't seen any major news. There's been no, like, did anybody else report on this? Because like I'm not, I'm sorry, but I don't care about random Twitter accounts and what they have to say about what Trump is doing because nothing came through. Like I've got alerts from CNN and AP on my phone and everything, and I did not see any news about that, so I kind of just discarded it because I wasn't sure. You need to stop linking Twitter for news. Stop being a Zoomer, Chase. Stop using Twitter. They probably have better intel at that point in a lot of cleared areas of civilian. Yeah, I know. Well, I asked Momo to see if he could look through that Gaza Health Ministry report because I want to know whether or not most of the data from the Gaza Health Ministry was whether or not it came from like whether I watched Haviv do a video this morning and he mentioned that the Gaza Health Ministry reports show that most of the casualties were middle-aged men, or not middle-aged, but were like combat-aged males, and I would be curious to see if that's true. H did try and launch more traditional style defense at the beginning. Oh, Hamas did? Wait, are you writing H so you don't get caught by the auto mods? Hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to talk about that. But once their brigade level structure was smashed, they switched to mostly hiding and running. Yeah, and they were still operating out of civilian areas the entire time too. Yes, your auto mod is wrecking me. I don't know. I can't. I wish I could fix my auto mod. Also, due to Hamas taking a hit, people were probably less scared to disobey and leave certain areas. Yeah, I mean, as far as I could find, Hamas never, like, I guess, forced anybody to stay, but that doesn't mean that people didn't feel pressure to stay. And I would imagine, like not doing what Hamas says or like not like obeying Hamas's like ideas probably wasn't particularly helpful. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Gaza or with like the US where they ordered this. Now it says it's got a bunch of stuff here. Ahead of winter, surge all forms of humanitarian Gaza throughput. This is from the letter, enabling a minimum of 350 trucks per day, upholding your prior commitment to allow assistance to flow consistently through all four major crossings. Yeah, it seems like the consistent or like there wasn't necessarily consistency, although the other problem is also distribution. Like a lot of trucks may have gone through, but whether or not they actually made it anywhere is another issue. And I mean, obviously people like Ogerberg are going to blame that all on Israel. But I mean, I guess you could say that Israel is partly to blame. Although, like I said, this was not a war. Like this was a completely different kind of war than they were usually than they were used to fighting. So never forget the enemy has a vote. A lot of the change in casualty rate probably also has to do with Hamas's own process of adoption and change. Yeah, because once they started losing more people, then they probably would have changed strategies. Always forget about Hamas, make a story. Well, yeah, like people do. Like they just ignore Hamas. It's easier for people to ignore that Hamas exists. And just to assume that because Israel airstruck a place and that place had civilians in it, that meant they must have been targeting the civilians on purpose. They saw that there were civilians or they saw that there were kids and they were like, oh man, let's kill them for the lols. But yeah, also, I would like to look more into UNRWA as well. It does seem like UNRWA kind of prolongs the conflict in a way, though, and that a lot of the stuff that they have, like it probably should have been offloaded to the Palestinian Authority around Oslo. Like UNRWA probably should have given up a lot of their the PA should have been handling a lot of UNRWA's responsibilities. And also, we've seen like the UNRWA textbooks and the stuff they teach kids is pretty insane. Although the stuff the PA teaches kids is pretty insane too, but um, it's easier to make the situation align with your beliefs when you ignore half the facts. Yeah. It's more about the lack of caring for uninvolved casualties than actually targeting them, I think. Yeah, I think that that's the case here. Like, I think the main issue is not Israel is targeting civilians. It's that Israel probably doesn't care as much as they should if civilians die. Or they have fucked proportionality assessments. And it seems like that did change as a result of pressure within the war because the casualty rate certainly slowed down quite a bit. Like for the longest time, it was stuck at that 60. And now like I think we're up to 70, and that's probably like the max. Um so unless the war starts up again, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. And it seems like from what all y'all Israelis have been telling me that yeah, it's not looking great, let's just say. Yeah, I mean, and it also doesn't really help that there are absolutely like standout incidents of things that just look like they're probably just straight up war crimes. Um, or stuff where like the fuck up was so insane that like why? Like the WCK bombing, that was a ridiculous like fuck up. Where someone just screwed something up. Maybe with Hezeb, if anything. Oh, yeah, if they're gonna start that up, yeah, potentially. I feel like with Hezbollah, it's probably easier as well to like avoid civilian casualties depending upon how it is that they fight, because in Lebanon, the civilians have places they can run away to. And I guess, and it seems like they're a lot less afraid to defy Hezbollah and to just leave. which is what we saw happen last time. Like, people just ran away. I mean, there's going to be another war at some point. Yeah, yeah, I know. I hope Bibi doesn't strike Iran right now. They just need to let those protests go and then just see what happens. You know, fighting there in the winter is a bitch and a half. Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't imagine that that would be great. You probably want to wait until summer, and hopefully not with this government. Yeah. Well, I mean, October of this year is when y'alls have got elections, unless Bibi decides to call them earlier than that. Maybe Bibi is angling, maybe he's thinking, what kind of military victory can I do before I call an election? I need to do something that's going to make me look really good. And once I do, then I will call that election. In Lebanon, Chase. Oh yeah, because that's in the, do they get snow in Lebanon? Winter warfare training was the worst. Oof. Oh, yeah, of course they do, because it's winter is the coldest and darkest. Thanks, Wikipedia. Thanks for telling me about winter. It's rainy and cold and mountainous. It's awful. What about in Israel? How's that? In northern Israel, is it also really crazy? I remember one night our entire platoon just slept in one big pile in the field. Van did you serve like in Lebanon in 2006? Or was it in one grenade and it would have been over for like 20 of us? Damn. That's incredibly scary. Oh, oh yeah, okay. And then you wouldn't have been. Or did you go there? How well do you think I don't know. I'm sorry. Or wait, when did you serve there in the most recent offensive? Were you in the army then? Yeah, similar terrain, but not as bad when you can use roads and not have to army crawl and sleep in sus location. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, 2017 to 2019. Wait, Israel went back into Lebanon in 2017 to 2019? Or are you talking about in like Gaza? Ben said he was born in 1990. Oh, just the border stuff. Okay. Like just border stuff with Lebanon. I mean, I guess like Hezbollah has been kind of on and off doing shit. Oh, you have to do winter warfare training. Oh. I see. So you had to experience the awfulness. How the hell do you know my birth years? I don't know. Chase apparently does. I don't know. Chase, what the fuck? Chase just remembers everything about everyone. Chase has got like that insane level of autism. He's got it on lock. Has Israel ever fought any wars in the snow? I mean, I imagine they must have in Lebanon when they were there for like a while, because they were in Lebanon for a long ass time in the 80s. The chemical warfare training was the absolute worst. Ugh. Van Loven has said his age in Discord many times. Oh, okay. Chase just did the math. Okay. Um, what else are we doing? I think I gotta feed this dude. This little duder here. I'm trying to think. I need to put a video on while we do that. What's a good video to put on while we do that? Right now it's snowy in the Herman and there are soldiers there, so oof, that sucks. That really sucks. Actually, wait, of course, I'll just put a video on and I can just listen while I walk away. All right, Chase, I need to find that Scott Horton video. I'm just gonna search for it in my Discord. Um, God damn. He's so evil.
So, first of all, thank you so much to
Okay, this is 47 minutes.
Tom DiLorenzo and Lou Rockwell, especially for having me here today.
Hold on.
So, my first time at the Mises Institute. I'm very excited to be.
Oh God, the fucking Mises Institute. I hate these guys. Okay. He looks like a comic book villain. Yeah, he kind of is. Okay. I'm gonna speed this up. We're gonna put this at 1.5. And we're gonna listen to this. I think that I know a lot about this, so I'm probably going to I have a feeling I already know what he's gonna say. There's no winter in Israel. I'm assuming that this typo was on purpose, but you know what? Let's just go with it. I don't know what you guys are talking about even. Do you just live in like a particularly nice southern town? Is that what's going on here, Sheer? Do you live in the South? Are you just like flexing your southern privilege right now? And therefore you can just say, nah, no winter. It's like the Asmongold wheel of dialogue. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let's see here. To notice winter, you have to go outside, Sheer. Oh, damn. It's 60 degrees in Tel Aviv right now. Sheer lives in a place with a suspiciously high cat disappearance rate. No, stop. It snows on one mountain like for 2 days a year. Oh, yeah, no, it'll still get really cold, though, right? It's like 100 miles per hour winds outside. Oof. I mean, if you live in the South, it probably gets less, or it's probably like less bad. But yeah, I don't, you know, we had hail today and 100 kilometer per hour winds. Sheer lives in the past where there was drought. Ha, nice. They're skiing on Mount Hermon. Really? That's based. There's you guys have like skiing? That's fucking awesome. What was I looking for here? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna play this.
To be here. And as Tom mentioned, I'm the director of the Libertarian Institute, and as such, I have to admit that I have Institute envy pretty bad here today. Mark Thornton gave me the big tour this morning. This is the most impressive institution in the world. It's my dream that the Libertarian Institute could ever be anything like
Stop yapping.
A rivaler up here to the Mises Institute. It's really great, and has, of course, been probably the most important libertarian institution as long as I've been interested in the subject, which would be going back to at least the 1990s. But I do have some news. It's not exactly to rival the Ludwig von Mises Institute, but I do have a new project. It's I put together with the help of a friend of mine, Tom Woods. You guys might have heard of him. And Tom Woods has built.
Okay.
And of course, that's true because you can't have a world empire and a limited government at home. Never mind. The website is Scott Word. Government at home. Never mind, anarcho-capitalism and the Ancapistan we.
Oh, I see. Okay, so this guy's like some dumb libertarian who apparently doesn't believe in other people's rights to self-defense.
We all dream of, but how could you have anything like a limited government at home when you have a world empire abroad and in fact the most dominant world?
It's funny that he's saying all this, but just you watch, because I've seen this guy argue before. I saw him on Piers Morgan, where he literally just repeated Russian talking points to Ukrainian Anna. Like, if you listen, why can't he just say, I don't think that it's any of our business, or like we shouldn't be helping because I'm an isolationist? But that's not the argument he's going to make. Instead, he's going to bend over backwards to justify Russia's war in Ukraine, say it's all the West's fault, and basically rob Ukraine of any agency. And it's just ridiculous. It's insane that that is your argument, and yet you call yourself a libertarian. Like, you clearly don't. You're just a Russia shill. Create notes. Okay. We're gonna
dominant world empire in all of history. As my colleague at the Libertarian Institute, Keith Knight, wrote, it requires a state of domestic imperialism here at home for the government to keep us all in line enough, if for nothing else, to raise the revenue and the armies to wage their world empire. We might find if we abandon the empire that we don't really need Washington, D.C. that much at all. We could start to abolish all of these major departments and agencies.
Okay, so I guess we'll just start with this. So what is he gonna say? Oh man, hating on fake libertarians and calling out Russian disinfo. Okay, I'm making biscuits and gravy, then locking in. Absolutely based. Okay. Oftentimes, paleo libertarians are just closeted fascists. Yeah, well, he didn't describe himself as that. Okay, so what are the common arguments that we typically see from these guys? NATO provoked Russia. The name of this guy's book, by the way, is Provoked. Common anti-Ukraine arguments. So NATO provoked Russia is one, by expanding countries asking to join NATO. Because countries asking to join NATO, as we all know, is NATO expansion. The dude has too much gray hair in his beard to be sounding like a college freshman. So NATO provoked Russia. Let's see. That's like a big one that they will use. There's other ones to that. Euromaidan was a US-backed coup. Eastern Ukrainians want to be close to or part of Russia, or at least they always say they want to be close to Russia, but again, are part of Russia. Ukraine is a puppet in a proxy war against Russia by the US. Why don't they make peace and stop dying? So many people are dying. I think Lactroid thinks Zelensky was the person selected by the Rada, which is funny, but neither here nor there. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I've heard people make that argument. That's not true, obviously. Zelensky wasn't even the first guy to join. This is from the same conference they had where they had a USS Liberty survivor talking about Israel controlling. I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised. These guys are pretty nutty. Okay. Russia, NATO provoked Russia. Russia felt threatened by having NATO on their border, even though they already are. Russia afraid NATO will attack them. What other ones? What am I missing? Israel doesn't have winter source Canada based. I'm sure there's been other ones. Oh, I'm gonna put this down here because we know that he's gonna cite Euromaidan was a US backed coup. Euromaidan conspiracy theories. Let's see. So we've got oh yeah, I mean, okay, sure, why not? We'll say that too. Even though I mean, that's not an argument that I'm going to hear from people like Lactoy because he's a right winger, but oh yeah, snipers. I don't know exactly what the sniper thing was. I think it was that like the snipers were shooting. There were snipers shooting at police or something. Oh, also genocide in the Donbass against ethnic Russians. Also that Ukraine can never win. Yeah, that's definitely another one. That one ties into the why don't you make peace and stop dying? So many people are dying, you can't win thing. Like just the entire thing is, just like the meat grinder thing. Genocide in the Donbass against ethnic Russians. Euromaidan was a US backed coup, snipers. Victoria Newland phone call. National Endowment for Democracy, NED funding. Sure that there were probably other. I'm damn sure there's other conspiracy theories. Yeah. Oh. Maidan was illegal. Yanukovych removed illegally. Those were some. Oh, hey, Fell Runner. Hi, everyone. Trying not to feel too black-pilled about Minneapolis. Yes, one would hope that we are not too black-pilled about Minneapolis because it's pretty goddamn insane. I don't know any other ones. I know there's like some conspiracy theories about snipers. Oh, also, if we really get into it, Bucha and other war crimes are fake. Ukraine has always belonged to Russia. Some of these are just things that you will mainly hear from just full-on Russia shills. I haven't heard anything about no Chase. Last I heard though was that 2 people were injured. And the rest of it is all just like sort of smoke and yeah. Okay. We'll see what else he says so we can add to this, but this is the main stuff that I have. So the label of domestic terrorists is very foreshadowing. Portland, all I heard was ICE shot 2 people and then fled the scene, and he injured, and the injured are the ones that called the cops. Oh, interesting. Oh, the biolabs. I forgot about the biolabs. And by the way, what they cite for the biolabs thing is like something that Victoria Newland said that basically confirmed the existence of biological research labs. But that doesn't mean anything, or it sure as hell doesn't mean what they think it means. One I can think of re Crimea is the base in Sevastopol somehow gives Russia claim to Crimea. Oh, I haven't heard that one, but like I haven't heard them say that. Usually I'll always just say that like they had to go in there and take it because they didn't want to lose, because they thought, oh yeah, Russia had to take Crimea because they were in danger of losing Sevastopol. Even though that's not true. I'm pretty sure that Ukraine wanted to give it back to them. Typo grammar, I'm on my phone, words are hard. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, we're even going to see how far I managed to last because my wrists are already starting to hurt. So I don't know how many notes. Like, actually, what I might do is I might, once I come back from feeding him, I might just sit down in the chair and then just take notes using this. Because that'll probably be easier. Okay. All right, I'm gonna keep this playing and then I'll be right back. Because I need to feed this guy.
And roll all these authorities back to the states and to the people, like the Bill of Rights says. And so, of course, anti-imperialism is at the heart of libertarianism. It has to be. How could we possibly have a limited government with a world empire? Now, in 1969, there was famously, and through 1970, there's the famous break in the Young Americans for Freedom, where the libertarians at the big convention in St. Louis in 69 walked out over Vietnam. So we are not going to support this. And then by 1971, some of the refugees from Young Americans for Freedom had created the Libertarian Party, and with anti-imperialism at the core of its platform. Of course, as it had to be. And as I'm sure everyone in this room knows, very famously and importantly, Murray Rothbard in 1978 published the Libertarian Manifesto. And included in there is Chapter 11, War and Foreign Policy, where he breaks down a full revisionist take on the old Cold War with the Soviet Union, when at least back then they still were a gigantic communist empire. But he went and explained from the free market point of view why we need not have this Cold War even with the Soviet communists. And of course, in later times, in the 1990s, it was the libertarians who led the opposition to the wars in the Balkans, and which were so complicated and so few even understood. But the libertarians did. They cared a lot about it, and they opposed intervention there in Bosnia-Herzegovina and later in the Kosovo War. And it was during the Kosovo War that antiwar.com really grew into its own. They'd been created by Eric Garris, founded the site at the end of 1995, and they had done some coverage, but it was really in the Kosovo War of 1999 where they came into their own. And this is when I first found antiwar.com.
Yes, because not stopping genocide is totally fucking based. Am I right, chat? Anyway, I'll be right back.
I still remember to this day my friend Shauna showing me, hey, look at this site. And it was Christmas time, because I remember there were like Christmas decorations around. I guess it must have been late 98, before the Balkan War had actually started. And she said, look at this, and it has a big red logo at the top, antiwar.com. And I still remember, I said to her, oh, what is this, some kind of socialist thing? And she goes, no, look. And she pages down, look, they run Ron Paul. I go, no way, because I've been a Ron Paul guy since 97. So, all right, they run Ron Paul at antiwar.com. And then she goes, and look, click, and a couple clicks through, and this actually wasn't on antiwar.com, but it was a couple clicks through, led to Lincoln, the American Lenin by L. Neil Smith. And I went, wow, they're not just libertarians, but they're right-wing, anti-government, hardcore libertarians, and they own the URL. Antiwar.com. Oh my God, it's so important. And I didn't catch on to reading Raimondo then. I didn't really have the internet regularly for another couple of years. But it was so important to me to know that there were free market capitalists who own that URL, were holding down that website and that work. And then, of course, so speaking of Justin Raimondo was the founding editorial director of antiwar.com, and of course, Murray Rothbard's heir on foreign policy. I know from Eric Garris that there's a lot of Rothbard on foreign policy that was actually written by Justin, and there's a lot of Justin on foreign policy that was actually written by Murray Rothbard, because they would cover for each other a lot back in those days. And then he was my mentor, and my job was filling Justin's articles with all those links all those years. So I accept responsibility. Sorry about that, and also you're welcome. I know it was a bit of overkill. I kind of can't help myself. And antiwar.com is still going strong, and we have a whole new generation of guys at the site as well. And of course, our foreign policy in America is still horrible enough that we need it. So antiwar.com is still there. And now, I gotta say, even the regime libertarians in Washington, D.C. have been pretty good on foreign policy. They haven't been the best, and there's been plenty to fight about, and many of them got Iraq War II wrong. But then they all had to eat their hat and say that they were sorry. People like Brick Lindsay at Reason Magazine and some others, they had to admit that that was completely crazy to say that America has to overthrow the whole world and make it all free before we can have freedom in our own country. That's insane. And it proved to, of course, not be anything like true. We've all lost our freedom as our government has waged this world empire. So there were a few, but most of them apologized. But recently, just since the Ukraine-Russia war started, we've had some backsliding among the regime libertarians. And Ted Galen Carpenter, who was the single best guy at Cato, got fired for being good on Ukraine. And you may have seen a letter that was written to Cato by a group of libertarian institutions. And the signatures and the name of the institutions at the bottom of the letter was this long. And yet I never heard of any of these people. The Friedrich von Hayek Institute of Hungary, and the Rothbard Institute of Poland, and the Mises Institute of Lithuania, and all of these things. Who are these people? Well, they all demand that America support Ukraine at war with Russia. And they all demanded that Ted Galen Carpenter be fired from the Cato Institute for opposing this policy. Now, Ted hasn't been perfect on everything. He's a little, slipped a little bit on some of the war on terrorism stuff, but he has been absolutely fantastic on the Cold War in Eastern Europe, and of course is right up there with Ron Paul and Pat Buchanan and everyone who opposed NATO expansion in the very first place. He wrote a book against it in 1994 and has always been so good at explaining how American NATO expansion in Eastern Europe would end up causing problems for the United States and end up provoking a terrible reaction from the Russians. And then what did Cato do? Instead of standing by their best guy, who they employed for generations there, they fired him for being too good on American intervention. But the silver lining is I hired him, so now he writes for the Libertarian Institute and for antiwar.com. And now I actually have even worse news, which is the Foundation for Economic Education, which has been, they're not especially, centered around foreign policy, but they've been essentially good on foreign policy with our movement this whole time. But they got a new boss over there, and he's at worst a hawk, at best a coward. And under pressure, again, from the Ukraine lobby, he actually deleted a bunch of articles from the FEE site opposing American intervention in the war and fired the guy who wrote them, a guy named Philip Carroll. He's also now going to be writing for us at the Institute. So this is a big deal. There's still a fight for the heart of libertarianism when, in fact, we already won this argument, and we won it big. Because those of us who opposed Iraq War II and the rest of the Middle East wars, we were absolutely proven right. And all the, what we called them then, the liberventionists from 20, 25 years ago, they all had to shut the hell up. So the fact that they're trying to come back now and trying to make inroads into our movement now is a call to action for the rest of us, that we speak up and we make our point clear that no, in America's libertarian movement, regardless of whatever money gets passed around by USAID in Eastern Europe, around here, we're Ron Paul folk and we're non-interventionists on foreign policy. There's no way we're going to let them get away with that. And that's all.
Is anybody else supremely triggered yet? Jesus. I hate this motherfucker already. Oh, okay. Oh, Momo found something for me. Hold on, chat. One sec. On page 7. Okay. This is the death toll of the 7th of April. 32 total dead. Only the European Hospital and Al Nafar have provided breakdown by demographics. 11 men dead total in both hospitals and a single child in Al Najjar. Okay. Okay. Oh, I like the fact that you've provided, thank you for providing me like which page it was on and stuff, for the, for April. The graph, okay. The graph at the top shows men in orange and children in yellow. So the number of people being killed by and large are men. The one on the bottom is the number of dead per hospital. The hospitals in the north are in orange and counted one with 20 dead. Okay. On page 7, it shows the number of dead that have been identified by either the family members. The column for children is the one with the red arrow. The number of men is the one with the blue arrow. Interesting. These numbers don't include death by natural causes, by the way, so these are just casualties. Wait, oh, Loner went live? Really? Are you sure about that, Chase? Because I ain't seeing anything. Wait, what? Has he? How is it that there are 19 people here? What? Why did I get nothing? I never got any notifications. Oh, and he did do Ogre Boy. Well, fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah, well, I know he didn't announce, but I also didn't get any announcements at all on my, like, I never got a YouTube notification. That's really weird. Oh, you didn't get a notification either. Yeah, what's going on, YouTube? I'm surprised. I'm surprised that there's still 15 of you here. Thank you. That's very kind of you. There's like 20 of you here now. That's incredibly interesting. When I looked at the page, it didn't even show he was live until after I clicked on the live. Yeah, that's weird. I watched for a bit. The slop is boring. Oh, is it because he's talking about slop? Your stream showed up in my feed and his didn't. Huh, strange. Well, yeah, because honestly, the thing is that I am still a Lonerbox viewer and I still actually really enjoy watching his streams. And so a part of me would like to end now, especially since I want to see what he had to say about Ogre Boy. The Ogre Boy stuff isn't too interesting to me. I just want to see what he had to say about it. Damn, Kalinda, my Connor notifications didn't go out either. Oh, there must be something going on with YouTube this morning, maybe. Maybe that's what's happening? Maybe there's something fucked up with YouTube. He's been streaming all morning, I didn't see. Yeah, started streaming 85 minutes ago. Damn. Huh. You got bonus stream time? I mean, that's fine. Okay. I mean, honestly, if I'd woken up earlier, I prefer to watch Loner ethically through your stream if that's possible. I mean, I'm not just gonna watch Loner, um, because that I don't really have any, like, that just feels silly to me. Although since he started earlier today, it's possible that he will end later or he will end earlier as well. And if he does that, then I will definitely be going live like tonight, or maybe I'll just go live at like 5 or something again, because by then my stuff, yeah, he was just talking about, oh, was he? I kind of was curious to hear what he had to say about that too, because I figured at some point he was going to address that. Because I have some of my own thoughts on it. Although at the end of the day, really, it doesn't change what happened. Like, none of this changes, like, ultimately, like, the fact that Destiny did something that, whether it, like, even if it was, even if we were to assume that it was consensual, like, that, or rather that, like, Pixie didn't actually care that he sent the stuff, it's still not good that he did that. Because it was fucking stupid. Like he's just in it, or rather he was. I will say was, because that I don't believe this narrative that like he still, that he ever really went around trying to find people in order to like humiliate them, like the whole Mr. Girl thing, since I was there for that and I never got that impression. But also, like, there hasn't really been any crazy streamer dramas like that since, like, involving him since like 2023, I think. I have no idea about like what he was doing with the Willie Mac thing. Hopefully he'll explain that later. I don't really buy his I mean, I think that it's fair that he would have to keep that stuff, but maybe it's because that he didn't know, and at that point he probably didn't even believe that it was CSAM. Sending nudes to a person that was apparently exploiting a minor to get access to CSAM. Yeah, Destiny at the very least was incredibly irresponsible with the news he had access to. Well, I mean, he didn't know anything about, like, he thought she was 18 or older, and like, I mean, really realistically, he could have very well thought she was 20 or 21, right? Because she was in college. And a lot of people that age are in college. So, I mean, it would have made sense for him to assume that. And I mean, yeah, but he didn't know any of that. Apparently he said that it was a huge mindfuck when he found out that he was catfished and that the entire thing was, I don't think he's a pedo, but he should have known better than to have that stuff if he thought it was illegal. Well, yeah, but see, yeah, I know, that's what I mean. I mean, that was all the stuff that was sent to him, and I don't know if it would have mattered if he would have kept it or not. I don't know what I feel like that's like kind of pretty yikesy and pretty weird. Hopefully he will explain that further when the case is over and we get like some sort of explanation, because I mean, he's been so cagey about that I have no fucking idea. I mean, I know that like people think that he's always lying or whatever, but generally speaking, when he does explain stuff, like, there usually are receipts. Like, he will show like chat logs and stuff to back things up. But I mean, at the end of the day, who Rose was doesn't really matter to the general gist of the case. And that's why it kind of blew me away, and I thought it was pretty ridiculous that like Pixie's legal team felt the need to put that stuff in the court filings about Rose being a minor when Destiny was like texting with her, because that doesn't matter. Like, that has no bearing on the general overall. Like, that's not what the case is about. The case is about the non-consensual sending of like videos, and that's what they should have been focused on. So I don't know why they felt the need to do that, unless they really were just trying to slander him or something. It's just very weird that was something that they thought would be fun to do. What does Loner have
He
to
was pretending
say?
to be 18, not 17. Well, isn't the verdict that Rose was 17, but he was pretending to be Rose, pretending to be 18? That's what I'm saying.
Her age could have also made it seem more reckless. I mean, potentially. I can understand if that was meant to build a case about Destiny's reckless behavior and sharing news. Yeah, maybe, although that wasn't really their narrative. They just threw it in there in a footnote, which was kind of strange. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not because it was a minor, but because it was a catfish. Oh, I mean, yeah, that could potentially be the case. I guess, like, I didn't expect that would be the case either. I really didn't expect any of the stuff about, like, Rose mattered. I feel like there's been a lot of shit. If I remember correctly, Destiny just wrote off Willie Mack as just wanting to appease his critics. I mean, I think it was dumb that Willie made that video. I don't know why he did that. I think that's exceedingly stupid. Where he made that video where he performatively called the FBI and all that shit. Like, why? Why would you do that? Why don't you just call the FBI? Like, you could inform everyone if you felt like you wanted to tell everybody, but him making a video about it was kind of weird. It just seemed like a strange thing to do. Like, yeah, I think calling the FBI was the right move. If you suspect someone actually has CSAM, you should call the FBI. Based on if they're saying weird shit to you. I just don't understand why. I don't know, making the video was strange. Like, or rather, I mean, I guess, like, the video itself was fine, but the fact that he, at the end, filmed himself calling the FBI was weird. Like, why didn't he just say, and I've reported my concerns to the FBI, and just left it at that? I don't know why he needed to performatively film himself calling them, if that's even what he was actually doing. It's just a strange thing to do. Even though it spawned that funny GIF that is now turned into a meme, but I don't understand what the point of that was. I do remember people have, oh yeah, I mean, that's true. People did accuse him of being too charitable to Destiny, and maybe that was part of it. I don't know. Destiny said that Nicholas DeOrio bragged about Destiny having, or telling Willie to make that video, and then Willie did it. But I have no fucking idea if that's even true. I mean, yeah, Destiny said, I never saw that clip. I don't know. I honestly don't care about these people, about the commentary community or any of that shit.
Said she never talked to him. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently. Not sure how that really changes anything.
Yeah.
Volumes, you know, I think that's fair to say, but I mean, it's
so you
just
don't know
weird 'cause,
any.
like,
You don't know any secrets about Xena, then.
Okay. If there's
Also, I'm sure that I don't think there's any DGGers watching right now, but Jesus Christ, I do not care about Darius IRL or about his shit with Xena. I feel like Darius is like a huge fucking lol cow, who just is, yeah, I don't know. He's just like a crazy person who is, I believe Destiny correctly described him as a fuckboy, who seems to, like, by his own admission, really like mentally ill women. And I feel bad for Irrelevant, who, like, tried to keep him in line all this time until I think he just gave up. He still shouldn't have run his mouth about having potentials. Well, yeah, he shouldn't have said anything to Willie about that, because I don't even know if he was joking or what. Like, I can't fucking tell what was going on with that chat. I understand if he needed, if, like, his lawyers told him that he had to retain everything, but I mean, I feel like the only explanation I can think of is that at the time he obviously was still in denial about the fact that, about her age. That's probably the case. He probably was still in denial about it, because he figured that it was that like the all he had was like what was from Kiwi Farms or some shit. But I have no idea. I don't know. I hopefully he will provide an explanation for that, because yeah, that looks incredibly yikesy. But I don't think that he was keeping it because he was like a pedo or whatever. I feel like people jumping to that conclusion are very, like, they just really want to believe that.
If they're talking about Lauren, I wonder if it's to do with the fact that I mean, been kind of aware of this for a while, right? But yeah, it's about that whole that Rose person, that 17-year-old that the old Destiny was sexting with, that apparently was catfishing. So what's the final verdict? Is that how do you phrase that? That he was catfished by a guy pretending to be a 17-year-old who's pretending to be over 18.
Yep, and it's worse than that too, because he didn't even just do that. It was solo, and apparently he basically manipulated this girl into sending him videos of material and made her do things by threatening her. And because she was 17, made it easier for him to manipulate her, and he met her by pretending to be underage. And that, yeah, and it sounded like she was traumatized by this whole thing, at least based on the indictment, or not the indictment, the transcript rather, that I had like a quick look through or whatever. So it all just, yeah, I don't know. I feel like in all of this, I think the most evil person is Solo. And it's kind of crazy to me that a lot of the anti-fans don't seem to care about that, or don't seem to want to acknowledge or point that out. because like I think because what he did, and then he leaked everything, right, which also resulted in a bunch of other people getting hurt. And now obviously none of this would have happened if Destiny hadn't been like, you know, a reckless gooner. And I think that's an entirely fair criticism to make, but I don't think he did any of this maliciously like people keep thinking that he did. I think he's just a stupid gooner. Obviously that's not good. Oh yeah, Sunday as well too. I don't believe Steven when he says that it was a foregone conclusion that Pixie was going to release that Substack and go forward with all of this. We have no way of knowing that. She could have changed her mind. We don't fucking know. But Sunday robbed her of that choice. And so at the end of the day, that still makes him a piece of shit. Like, I still hate him for that. Mr. I'm a leftist, by the way, you know, like, Chase, I think Erin's biggest issue was that she trusted Sunday. Yeah, different people messed up to different extents. Yeah, exactly. And it annoys me that nobody can just make like a reasonable assessment of this situation. You're either Destiny did nothing wrong or Destiny is an evil, manipulative rapist who preys on vulnerable women. Sunday is Canadian. They can't be trusted. But that's not, yeah, like that's why I appreciate that Loner had a measured critique of the situation.
Is that how that works? Is that how you phrase that? Catfished by a guy pretending to be a minor, pretending to be of age. Okay, yes.
Yes, I am Canadian, or Orpheus, yes. I didn't realize Sunday was Canadian because he spends so much time talking about US politics, but it turns out that he is.
Said she never talked to him, yeah. Yeah, apparently. Not sure how that really changes anything. In terms of what, I guess you got to throw Destiny's age in there. What, pushing 40?
No, he never, Destiny never talked to Rose. Not according to what she testified anyway. She was occasionally shown some of the messages that were exchanged, but she never spoke with him. And it, in terms of like the pictures that were posted of her wearing like Destiny's merch and all that shit, that was stuff that Solo bought for her and then mailed to her and told her to put on and take pictures in. Yeah, like she was not, and I mean, I know that like there are some people in the anti-fan sphere who think that this is all a lie and that she was lying, but I find that incredibly difficult to like, or rather that she was lying in order to get out of the fact that she was 17 and she basically shared CSAM because she was in trouble or whatever. But I think that's silly. That's a silly so what? She got out of the fact that she did something that was breaking the law by perjuring herself. That just does not seem to track. And also, I don't really think, like, in terms of like the levels of crimes, I don't think the FBI cares that much about like 17-year-old CSAM stuff. I think they probably care more about like much younger kids. And they probably aren't gonna, because like if they did, then Destiny would have been arrested by now, because I'm sure that like a gazillion people called the FBI on him after this shit came out and he wasn't. I mean, in some ways I'm kind of surprised because that would have been like an excuse that Kash Patel could have nailed him with because JD Vance apparently wanted him arrested.
Is that what we say?
Wait, what was he saying?
In there. What, pushing 40? Is that what we say?
Oh, Destiny's age, yeah.
I'm trying to wonder, like, how that would feel if you were the person who that happened to. Fuck.
I feel like that would be pretty nuts. Like, I don't know. Destiny said that it was a mind fuck and that he wasn't prepared for it at all, and that he wasn't at the deposition and he was traveling. And then he heard about it from his lawyers after. Rootsy was saying in chat it doesn't matter, what he did was still weird. I mean, what, you mean like talking to her at all? Or the fact that he sent the, yeah, like I don't disagree. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I think that the reason why Pixie's lawyers wanted to find her is because that they wanted her to confirm the dates. And they also apparently, I guess, wanted her to confirm the I don't know. All of these controversies are Destiny's fault, even if he's innocent. Oh, this person donated in Learner's chat. Bro wants to expand and grow into a serious political figure and help Dems, but he ruins his chances by having no self-control. I think that I arguably agree with this. Although I do have to say that it does seem like he did radically change his behavior since like he got on Vyvanse or whatever. Because there weren't like any crazy on-stream dramas. And the allegation was always that he was exploiting these people for content. It wasn't just that he was doing it because he got off on it or whatever. It was always that it was an on-stream thing. That was what Mr. Girl's whole narrative was that Destiny would bring on people and then he would be friendly with them. And then like eventually he would like, or the chat would turn on them or he would turn on them and he would engineer it all on purpose in order to take advantage of them. And then he would milk it for content. And yeah, there were instances where he did go way overboard with that. Like I think how he handled the Anna shit was really, really bad. And it was also really, really bad that he was still sexting her. That was not good either. That was like incredibly fucking stupid. Yeah, like a lot of this can like just be put down to him being a reckless, stupid gooner. And not thinking before he gooned, which isn't good. But I don't think that that's like rises to the same level as like what all the haters are saying. And I mean, I don't know. It does seem like he did learn from his mistakes. It does suck that this is what had to happen, I guess. Although I don't even know. Like it seemed like he kind of was already not doing it. It sucks that this level of collateral damage had to occur to a bunch of other people around him in order for this to happen, which is super shitty. Destiny's stuff is so unhinged that I can't help saying it should be mentioned in some UN resolution. It would totally fit if this deeply unserious organization said, ban sex. Yes, you're right, Bill. Yes, ban sex for all online streamers. I mean, except for normal people like Lonerbox and Hutch.
He was pretending to be 18, not 17. Well, isn't the verdict that Rose was 17, but he was pretending to be Rose, pretending to be 18? That's what I'm saying. As in, like, at the end of the chain, the person talking to Destiny is saying that they're an 18-year-old Rose.
I think part of the whole plan, too, was also that Solo wanted to be able to accuse Destiny of being a pedo by saying, hey, this girl was 17 or whatever. But I don't know, maybe he was also a pedo, or maybe he had a thing for underage girls. Because apparently, according to Rose's deposition, or rather, not Rose's, but the girl's deposition, the victim's deposition, Solo was talking to other women, too. So, like, he may have been talking to other underage girls and doing the same shit to them, which is insane. I mean, this guy needs to go to jail because it sounds like he was, like, engaging, like, he was exploiting a minor and making her, like, film CSAM and abusing her and, like, threatening her.
I'd still say it's quite irresponsible to be fucking about with someone when you feel like you're not entirely sure if they're even 18 or above or not.
Yeah, I agree, it is.
But I would say pedophilia or whatever? No, not really. Kind of quite a few miles away from that.
Based reasonable loner box takes.
Anyway, I don't want to fucking. I'm just gonna say that much because I can't even remember what the fuck I said about the Rose thing particularly. But just in case.
Oh, I remember what Loner said about it. I think Loner had like a pretty decent take where he said that he felt like implied consent would have had more merit if you were talking about like Destiny showing the video to Melina or somebody else who was already within their circle, right? Rather than some random e-girl, which is what he did. And that was kind of the issue. Is, you know, like implied consent tends to work better if you're talking about like, you know, I don't care if you share this as long as it doesn't get leaked, assuming that you're going to be sharing it with other people who like are already within your circle, you know, like I think, for example, that Pixie knew that Destiny was going to share any videos and material they made with Melina because that was how his relationship with Melina worked, and that was like a prior agreement that they had, and she would have been fine with that. But yeah, so like that doesn't necessarily mean that it was okay for him to share it with the or for him to share it with like some random e-girl, in the same way as that I don't think it matters that Pixie shared their video with her boyfriend or her ex or whatever, because he was within that same circle of people. And that's kind of like why I don't I don't know where this claim comes from that Pixie shared a video that she made that had her ex-boyfriend in it with Destiny when they first met, and that this was done without her boyfriend's consent. I don't think that's true either. Like, I don't think any evidence has ever been shown of that. So yeah, and I'm honestly proud of myself to have not delved into this situation enough to know who Solo is. So he's the guy Destiny was unknowingly sexting, but isn't involved with the lawsuit. Solo is the guy who leaked everything on Kiwi Farms. He had access to the Discord account that Destiny was sexting with. And Rose broke up with him. And then like in November of last year, November of 2024, rather, he decided to dump everything onto Kiwi Farms after he was unable to blackmail Destiny into getting on his stream. I don't remember if he asked for money or not, but yeah, that was something that happened. So anyway, I'm just gonna have you guys who are still remaining here. So he's a neo-Nazi. I mean, I have no idea what he is. In her deposition, Rose said that that Solo was like a Destiny fan, and she said that she thought maybe he was bisexual, and so he enjoyed like the sexting shit. But yeah, I don't know. Like, that's pretty unhinged if that's the case. If he was like a fan of Destiny and he felt the need to do all of this, like, this is a pretty elaborate years-long thing that he engaged in, basically. And because that Rose broke away from him, presumably at some point she told her parents about all this and they agreed that they would support her. And then she basically left the guy. And she blocked him everywhere and stopped talking to him, even when he tried to contact her. And then what happened after that was he had access to the account, so he just leaked everything on Kiwi Farms, I guess. I guess from the deposition, it sounds like she left him in 2023. And Destiny wasn't talking to her for a while. Solo is an Azov neo-Nazi confirmed. Good catch, Grok. Is this real? Is it real? It's real. Solo lives in the UK as well, too, which I guess is part of the reason why a lot of people decided that her story was like, or that Rose's story was bullshit. But I mean, it's totally possible to like get close to someone over the internet and manipulate them, especially if that person is only 17 years old. And to like start dating them and all that other such shit. Like, it's not like that's impossible to do. And it sounds like he did. It sounds like he, from what she said, when she wanted to leave him, I think he threatened that he would kill himself in order to make her stay. And then he threatened that he would like basically kill her entire family if she left. And so she was too scared to do so. And really, like, having somebody threaten that they would kill themselves that's pretty heavy stuff, especially if you're like a kid. That's like an insane manipulation tactic to say like, I'm going to kill myself if you leave. That's pretty nuts, you know? So yeah, it's, oh yeah, Maruzzi finally announced announced Loner going live in Discord. Oh, hey, Spider. So yeah, Spider, I might come back on tonight. Oh, hi, guys. I might come back on tonight. Hopefully I will. I mean, we kind of were, but I'm probably gonna go offline now. Because Loner is live and I didn't even know, and he actually apparently started a while ago. And the reason why I'm probably gonna go offline is because that I want to watch my favorite streamer, okay? At least for some of it. And I'm also going to do more research, but I'll be back later on tonight. I might start up again at like 5, or maybe 6 or something. I guess it'll depend on, or maybe like when Loner goes offline, I'll just go live again. I don't know. Or if I sense that he's going to end stream soon, then I will go live again so that hopefully maybe I can get that raid, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm kind of being strategic about this. And then we'll do more Ukraine research. Huzzah! Anyway, you guys have fun and you all take care. Go say hi to Loner for me. Bye.